What you doing? I'm the AC and this is Otaku News Reviews. This time I'm talking about Jiangshi X by Norihiko Kurazono, Chapter 3, Tomb of a Thousand Kings. This chapter came out on February 5th, 2023 and has 29 pages. They're getting smaller. In this chapter, our three main protagonists, our main group, they have a new job, which is to guard Mu, or as the title of the chapter says, the Tomb of a Thousand Kings. It contains around 800 very special jiangshix that were put to rest there, just sealed up. And answering a question I've been having, apparently the first order jiangshix can be destroyed, but the greater their hierarchy is, makes it not as easy to destroy them, which is why they have to put them to rest in these tombs. Apparently the lowest is the first order, and then of course the higher you go up, the stronger they're going to get. Don't know exactly how tall it is. I'm not even going to guess, because why not? But their job is to watch the first two floors, so I'm assuming the first order and the second order. If I really want to guess. Let me know how many orders of jiangshix you think there's going to be. But we get an explanation that in order for anyone to break this seal, you'll need as much Don Li that was put into the Feng Jiangshi that was used to seal it. Which makes me wonder, how are these seals breaking anyways? Because we saw in the other chapter, somehow that jiangshi got released from its seal. And in this chapter, when they go up to the second order, where the coffins are much bigger, when the second order jiangshi are released. So what's doing this? Who's doing this? Why is this happening? I don't know. Apparently it takes a lot to unseal them. Doesn't seem like something they were doing on their own, even though they do say part of the job is to make sure the seals don't get weakened and that everything's going fine. Maybe they do just with time weaken, who knows? So as soon as they see this second order jiangshi, Chao Yun's actually the first one to attack, and again the only one with named techniques. I don't know if that's just going to be a thing, but yeah, he attacks with his Shen Tong Fu, the amulet, and using the technique Feng Niao, or Bird of Wind. But this jiangshi, being second order of course, destroys it no problem, and then uses some super speed attack, seemingly super speed, just really fast, to attack Xiaohu. Xiaohu gets a little beat up with it, nothing too bad. He says he'll be fine, but yeah, now Xiaohu, it says they're not apprentices anymore, which is just a callback to the beginning when Kong Li was also like, you're not apprentices anymore. Even though he came to the tomb with him, he's not there helping. He went up into higher levels. But it's also making me wonder, you know, he says this, then something bad happens. Could this be a test from Kong Lin? I don't know. It's kind of like an echo to the first chapter where their test was supposed to fight a second order, and now they're actually fighting a second order. It was coincidentally right after he says they're not apprentices anymore. It could be just a little test from him, especially he thinks something suspicious is going on because of the second chapter where somehow that first order jiangshi was able to break its seal, or for some reason was unsealed. I feel like this might just be a test and nothing too sinister yet. But that's kind of where the chapter just ends, with a to be continued. They're not wrapped up yet, really making me feel like, oh, okay, it's going somewhere, it's doing something. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to what the next chapter is going to be. Finally have actual conflict, actual combat. Like, stuff could be going wrong, it be going bad. Also, the first two chapters ended with like a potential bad thing's about to happen, even though it doesn't blatantly say it. In this one, it does. I mean, just thinking of it, if this tomb, if all these jiangshix were released, that's a whole nother disaster. And maybe it could be something to do with the overall disaster. Maybe this is just going to be some kind of other arc that's going to happen. Maybe this is the start of it. It's hard. I don't know, it just seems so obvious that they're going to have this in like all of them, or a lot of the really strong ones. A handful maybe. Something there's going to be a lot of them getting released in here, and it just seems like an obvious thing that's going to happen. Why else introduce it now? So another thing that I'm always looking forward to in a sarcastic way, regardless of how my tone actually sounds, is just explanations for stuff. And I was expecting it to happen at some point, because there's actually quite a bit of explanation, especially of what Jiangwang Mu is, just stuff that really you're going to forget about as soon as it's done being said, because I forgot exactly what there's a whole nother tower in their village and exactly what goes on in this tomb and how everything works. I kind of explained a little bit of it, just kind of breezed through it. But yeah, Conlon was like, he was even saying like, I don't need to tell you this, and then he went and told us this anyways. And it's like, okay, you could just, if he would, I don't need to tell you how this works, and then he could have left it at that, and we could have picked up on it later. But no, then he went and told us anyway. I don't know, just weird stuff. Aside from the actual substance of this manga, I stumbled upon, I guess you could say, some little extra details behind the scenes of this. I normally don't read comments. I think I've only really read comments for like one other chapter of Fabricant 100, whatever. I don't read comments, I don't really have any interest in what other people say. And I don't want people's opinions affecting me, but I happen to stroll through and see that the editor, either for this chapter, for this manga, left a comment just explaining stuff. I don't know. A few points pointed out. Sure, yeah. Just that this is in Jump Plus, not weekly. It's just a coincidence that it came out on Sunday every week. Okay. This is not manga. It's Chinese because of the editor's localization choice. I mean, yeah, I get that. And then just saying, as far as like naming techniques and using definitions, stuff like that, he compares it to the same as Akane Banashi, some other manga. I don't know anything about it. I had to look that up. But it to define the term that is originally used, and then just use that term from then on without the definition, which I like. I like that. But yeah, it was also, I don't know, I went back to the other chapter and was like, is this just a comment that's being put in every chapter? No, it was just this one I just happened to stumble upon. So, don't know what, I guess I should read the other comments to see why this was even an issue that the editor needed to put it out. But, I mean, I agree with it. I don't know what people's confusion is. Maybe it's because I just follow it and I've just read so much manga that I'm just used to this stuff already. But yeah, it was kind of weird that this had to be put out there anyways. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really have to say about this chapter. It's still longer than what a typical chapter is going to be. I don't feel like too much happened. It was a lot more of explanation and then the start of fight, which is, you know, it was a little kind of cool. I expect next chapter to be really cool, get the story really taken off, and seeing just how things are going to work for the rest of the series, as I expect the page count to get to the typical amount we would see. But I'm looking forward to it. A lot of cool stuff that I'm expecting for the next chapter and going forward. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you think it's going at a good pace, if you're looking for how things are going to go, you think the Jungle move, everything just unsealing in there is going to be one of the disasters we're going to have to face. I don't know. There's so much potential. I'll say that for the beginning of every new series, but it is, and it's the exciting part to see and to see where it's going to go. But let me know whatever your thoughts are about that, and if you want to know where to let me know, you can leave it in the comments if you want. You can find me on social media at DAC Stories, which including Facebook, Twitter, DAC Stories on Tumblr, that too. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's the_AC_stories on there, because that one has to be different. Or you can email me at theacstories@gmail.com. I also have a Discord if you want to join a small little community. For now, you can do all that. The links for all this stuff will, of course, be in the description for your convenience. But yeah, if you also like what I have to say, go ahead and like. If you want to make sure to keep up with everything, go ahead and subscribe and do all of that stuff. But yeah, that is it for me on this chapter of Jiangshi X. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'm the AC. Bye.